The Fiat 619 is a true truck masterpiece from the leading Italian company based in Turin. It's tough, reliable, and incredibly versatile. It became the main driving force on roads from the cold of Scandinavia to the scorching landscapes of Argentina. For some, it was like a mustachioed uncle who would always come to the rescue, while others called it the parrot. Thanks to its simplicity and reliability, the Fiat 619 performed equally well in construction, public utilities, agriculture, and on highways. How did a truck designed for Northern Europe manage to conquer almost half the world? And why did it get the funny nickname Parrot Speak in Argentina? Stay tuned to our channel. Today, we're going to talk about a true classic of the Italian automotive industry from Fiat, which saved the logistics of many countries. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. And let's get started. By the early 60s, Fiat needed a more powerful truck to replace the popular Fiat 682 model, which had been produced since 1952. These rugged vehicles first conquered Europe, then became true kings of Africa, and even made their way to Mexico. Thanks to their simple design and reliable engines, they were indispensable in countries with poor road infrastructure. After shifting the focus of the 682 model to the south, Fiat decided to create a new truck. It was specifically aimed at the countries of Northern Europe, where axle load restrictions were less strict. For example, the total weight of a two-axle truck there could be up to 18 tons, while in Italy the limit did not exceed 14 tons. To bring production closer to the sales markets, the new Fiat 619 was manufactured in Belgium at the Van Hol Company plant, which already had experience assembling the 682 model. The new truck with the two-axle chassis received a cab-over-engine design. The main highlight was the legendary Baffo cab, which translates from Italian as mustache. This cab, inherited from the 682 model, was built in the spirit of the 50s with maximally aerodynamic, rounded panels. The design's elegance was especially enhanced by the abundance of chrome details. A distinctive feature was the square radiator grille, set within an oval and divided by a long horizontal bar. It was precisely because of this mustache style that the Fiat was nicknamed the smiling truck on the market. By the way, if you close your eyes and picture a classic Italian Fiat from those years, it will almost certainly be in the brand's signature terracotta, mustard orange, or deep blue color. That was their calling card on all the European highways. The engine compartment between the driver and passenger received improved sound insulation. Inside, everything was as utilitarian and tidy as possible. Only the necessary gauges and indicators were left on the metal dashboard. But let's be honest about the realities of those times. The driver's workplace required considerable physical endurance. You had to turn the huge steering wheel with a lot of effort, since the power steering in early versions could be missing or too weak. Add to that the vibrations from the massive diesel engine, which inevitably made their way into the Baffo cab, and the fact that drivers had to sleep in these cramped old cabins. This was truly a job for tough men. Under the cab, they installed the new naturally aspirated 6-cylinder Fiat 221 diesel engine. It had a displacement of 12.8 liters and produced 210 horsepower. The engine was paired with the well-known 4-speed manual transmission and a 2-stage splitter. Together, this provided 8 forward gears and 2 reverse gears. A sturdy ladder frame and leaf spring suspension with hydraulic shock absorbers made the Fiat 619 a reliable tool for the toughest conditions. The versatility of the model was top-notch. It was produced in 2 main versions. The Fiat 619N was a flatbed truck, dump truck, or chassis for superstructures, with a total weight of 18 tons and a payload capacity of 10 tons. At the same time, the Fiat 619T tractor unit was produced, with a total road train weight of 36 tons. These vehicles were equipped with an extended cab featuring 2 sleeping berths. Due to high demand in construction, third-party companies often converted these Fiats into 6x2 configurations. They installed an additional lift axle in front of the rear drive axle. This increased the total weight to the permitted 22 tons in Northern Europe. Road tractors could be equipped with a rear self-steering suspended axle. In a 3+3 configuration, the gross weight of the road train reached 44 tons. But trucks for Italy itself had much more modest figures, 2-axle ones, 14 tons, tractor-trailer combinations up to 40 tons. Interestingly, vehicles for the domestic market continued to be produced with right-hand drive. Italy had long since switched to driving on the right, but in the mountains, right-hand drive allowed the driver to better control the edge of the road and the cliffs. In the 1960s, long-distance transportation was developing rapidly. Europe was introducing new safety and comfort standards. Competitors like Volvo, Scania, DAF, and Mercedes began installing spacious, box-shaped cabs. If you make a direct comparison with competitors, for example with the legendary Volvo F88, the difference in approaches was striking. While the Swedes were betting on maximum comfort and safety, the Italians, with their 619, hit the market with incredible simplicity of design and lower maintenance costs. To keep up in terms of comfort, Fiat at the end of the 60s created its first square H-type cab. The 619 model was the first to get it. The updated trucks were labeled as Fiat 619N1 and 619T1. An interesting twist in the model's history happened in France. Back in 1966, the well-known French company Unic came under Fiat's control. The Italians made a very clever tactical move to conquer the conservative French market, which traditionally favored its own manufacturers and protected itself with tariffs. They didn't try to impose their own brand. Instead, the 619 model began to be assembled at French facilities and sold under the familiar local name Unic 619. French transport companies gladly bought these vehicles as they combined a reliable Italian mechanical base with a familiar name on the radiator grille. Moreover, this collaboration became so significant that later the Unic brand, together with Fiat and other brands, became one of the founding members of the future giant Iveco. It was during these years that a real boom of epic freight transport to the Middle East began in Europe, the so-called Middle East Run. Drivers charted routes to Iran, Iraq, and Syria. These were extremely dangerous and exhausting trips through the mountains of Yugoslavia, Turkey, and the desert. The Fiat 619 was one of the most popular trucks on these routes. It was on the dusty roads to Tehran that this machine proved its indestructibility, when there weren't any service centers for thousands of kilometers around. In addition, the updated cabins received a better heating and ventilation system. The engine tunnel was reduced in size, and the sound and thermal insulation were reinforced. Drivers no longer had to shout over the noise during conversations or sweat from the engine's heat. A spacious two-person sleeping compartment also appeared, allowing for proper rest. Behind the large rectangular radiator grille of the modernized Fiat 619s, more powerful Fiat 221A engines with 240 horsepower were now hidden. Later, their power was increased to 260 horsepower. If the 682 model was called the King of Africa for its achievements, then similar fame awaited the 619 on the other side of the Atlantic. Since 1969, the Italian truck began to be produced in Argentina, in the city of Ferrara. The localization of components reached 87%, making the vehicle practically Argentinian. For this South American country, Fiats became iconic. At first, they built the roads, and then they became their kings. In the vast pampas, these vehicles, adapted to harsh conditions, proved their incredible reliability. They hauled road trains weighing up to 40 tons for thousands of kilometers. For such uncompromising endurance, Argentinian truckers nicknamed the Fiat 619 El Bruto. The main secret of their success was the indestructible 260 horsepower engine. It delivered maximum torque at the lowest RPMs. This allowed the vehicle to operate with significant overloads and conquer the challenging terrain of dirt roads. Moreover, the diesel engine was not picky about fuel quality, which was a lifesaver in remote areas. The frames and chassis of the Argentine versions were additionally reinforced. These Fiats successfully operated with 9 or 13-speed Fuller gearboxes. They covered millions of kilometers in logging, mining, and construction without any serious breakdowns. But until 1980, while the versions with the old Baffo cab were still being produced, the truck had a somewhat comical nickname, Pico de Loro, which translates as parrot speak. Due to its legendary status in high demand, production of the 619 model in Argentina continued all the way until 1994. The new Fiat was unable to surpass the fame of the 682 model on the African continent. Its production at the Nigerian plant was on a much smaller scale. However, its reach expanded in Europe. Since the late 60s, the model was produced by the Turkish branch, Otosan. Later, they assembled 817 trucks with a square cab under the name Fiat 169 NT. In 1975, Fiat merged its divisions into a new company, Iveco, which also included the aforementioned French company Unic. In Italy, production of the Fiat 619 finally ended in 1980. It was replaced by more powerful models, the 170 and 190. And already at the beginning of the 80s, the Fiat brand on commercial trucks finally gave way to the Iveco name. All that remained from the former Fiat division were the H-type cabs, which Iveco continued to use until the early 90s, as well as thousands of classic Fiat 619s that kept proudly racking up miles on the tough roads of Argentina and Africa. And what do you think, friends? Would a modern Iveco tractor be able to withstand the extreme conditions that the classic Fiat 619 worked in for years? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next interesting videos.